If I told you that your house does not make you rich, that the car you drive may be keeping you poor, and that most people spend their entire lives working to pay for things that make them look rich while actually keeping them stuck, would you believe it? It sounds wrong, but that is the difference between two ways of thinking, between two different fathers. One tells you, go to school, get a good job, and work hard. The other tells you, learn how money works and make it work for you. That is where the game begins. The poor dad believes that security is everything. A steady paycheck, a safe job, no risk. The rich dad sees things differently, and for him, real security comes from how many assets you own. And this is where most people get confused. Most people think they know what an asset is, but they do not. An asset is anything that puts money into your pocket. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. It is that simple and still so misunderstood. Someone thinks that because they bought a house, it is an investment. Right? Wrong. Every month they pay the mortgage, taxes, maintenance, and extra costs from problems that always show up sooner or later. Money keeps leaving their pocket. That is not an asset. It is a liability with a nice look. Picture it like two buckets. In one bucket, money keeps flowing in. In the other bucket, money leaks out. The poor person keeps trying to fill the bucket that leaks, then wonders why it never gets full. The rich person builds a bucket that fills itself. Most people say, I will work harder so I can make more money. The rich person says, I will build something that makes money even when I am not working. Those are two completely different games. Imagine one person working 10 hours a day, giving time for money, and someone else who has assets working for him. Who is closer to freedom? It is not about working harder. It is about the system. The biggest mistake people make is that when they earn more money, they raise their expenses too. That is the trap. You get a raise and you buy a better car. You get a bonus and you buy a bigger house. You feel richer, but in reality, you just have more liabilities. It is like running on a treadmill. You are moving faster, but you are still in the same place. That is the rat race. You wake up, you work, you get paid, you pay bills, and then you do it all again. And as income goes up, stress often goes up with it. The rich person does the opposite. When more money comes in, he buys assets. Those assets bring in more money, and that money buys even more assets. Suddenly, the whole game changes. You are not working for money anymore. Money is working for you. Think of it like an army. Every dollar you have is a tiny soldier. You can send it out to work for you, or you can spend it just to feel good for a moment. Most people kill their army for a few minutes of pleasure. The rich person puts his army to work. It is not that poor people do not work hard. In many cases, they work harder than anyone. The problem is that they work for money instead of learning how to build assets. And all of this starts in the mind. From a young age, we are taught to be afraid of losing money, afraid of making mistakes, afraid of trying. So we stay safe, but we also stay stuck. The rich person sees mistakes differently. He does not avoid them, he uses them. Every mistake is a lesson. Every failure is feedback. Every risk is a possibility for something bigger. Most people say, when I make enough money, then I will invest. The rich person says, because I invest, I make more money. Action comes first, results come after. Rich people do not chase money, they chase knowledge. Because if you know how to create money, it does not matter if you lose it. You can build it again. But if all you do is chase money and then lose it, you are back at zero. Knowledge is the real asset, not money. And here is the final point. You do not become rich because of how much you earn. You become rich because of how much you keep and how you use it. You can make $10,000 a month and still be trapped. You can make $2,000 a month and still be building freedom. It all depends on direction. Stop buying things that make you look rich. Start buying things that make you rich. Because at the end of the day, what matters is not what you show people. What matters is what keeps working for you when you are not working. That is where the whole game changes.
Want the full book? Link in the description.